Hey, what's up guys? My name is Chuy Gutierrez and today I'm here with the Photo Brigade and I want to talk about mobile content creation today. And what I mean by that is packing as little gear as you can to go get the job done, which is kind of what I do when I'm running around here in New York City or I'm traveling wherever it is with my gear. I'm kind of a one-man band kind of guy and I do a lot of things myself, from getting the interviews for the video to getting the B-roll, to editing the footage, to making sure I have the audio set up correctly, as well as taking the portraits and the photos for my jobs, right? So I kind of do a little bit of everything. And last year I was kind of thinking about rethinking what that kit is for me and getting a new bag to kind of consolidate the tools that I need to get the job done, especially now. The last couple years we've been seeing some great new tools when it comes to things like drones and gimbals that we may want to put in our gear bags, and kind of trying to figure out how to fit that all in while still being a carry-on bag. So what I did first was I said, let me find the bag. So I went on Tenba's website. I saw that they had updated the Roadie backpack lineup, which I love. I have a Roadie 22 from the last generation. So I said, you know what, let me find one that will help me travel internationally, at least as a carry-on. So I went on site and I found the Roadie 20. So I picked that one up and I said, all right, so what is it that I'm gonna put in this bag? Usually when I travel or when I'm working, I need to do both photo and video. And the last couple years I've been using my 1DX Mark II for just that. So that's going in the bag for sure. Now when it comes to lenses, I told myself, pick two lenses, pick your two go-to lenses that you can use for both photo and video. And while there's certain lenses that I use for my portrait work and only my portrait work, I needed to find kind of a middle ground, something that covered the entire range of the stuff that I use for both photo and video. So for those, I went with a Sigma 24-105 and I went for a Sigma 35mm 1.4. And for me, these two cover just about everything that I do, especially when it comes to the aesthetics that I like when I'm shooting. So those two are in the bag. What you'll see on the other side of the bag is a huge chunk of real estate has been taken up for a Ronin S. And this is a stabilizer. It's a motorized gimbal that I've been using for the last couple months and I never want to go back. This thing can support up to about 8 pounds or so. So the 1DX with the 24-105, even zoomed in at 105, will be perfectly stabilized and you'll get some smooth footage, just like what you're seeing on the screen now. On one of the sides, you'll see a small flash. Currently, I have an A1 from Profoto in there. This is something I threw in there because when I do portraits here at Brick Oven Studios, I usually always am using studio lighting. And that's no different when I'm shooting outside. I want some sort of fill flash or I want some sort of light added to the scene. And for right now, the A1's doing the job for me. I used it in California. The images you're seeing right now are just my 1DX with one of those two lenses and an A1 flash going off camera with a small modifier. This will probably, however, change to a B10 in a few months or so after I work a couple gigs. The B10 has more power and it also has a really strong LED light that you can use in scenarios when the area is just too dark for a regular interview. What you'll also find in the main compartment is a pair of Sennheiser wireless mics. This is what I use for my interviews when I'm doing sit-down interviews, and they're super compact and durable, and they pretty much fit anywhere in this gear bag. You'll also find a color checker, and you'll also find a couple of chargers and cables for my 1DX Mark II batteries, as well as the Ronin S, and you'll also find a charger for my Mavic Pro. The Mavic Pro sits on the very top of this bag. I've removed the center column for that compartment, and what you see in there is a Mavic 2 Pro, 2 batteries, and the remote control for the actual drone. This setup here lets me fly for about an hour and a half with no issues and lets me get footage like this. On the inside of the bag, you'll also find some ND filters. You'll find a variable ND filter for my 24-105. You'll also find a step-up ring that I can put on my 35mm to adapt that same filter on the 35mm lens. You'll also find a couple small ND filters for my Mavic 2 Pro. If you're a drone flyer or if you've been tempted to fly with drones, you're gonna want some ND filters, especially if you're shooting out in daylight. Now on the front of the bag, you'll find a laptop sleeve, and that's where you'll find my MacBook Pro. And right in front of that, you'll find another compartment where I have the modifier for my A1 flash. I'll have a notebook, I'll have my extra media, I'll have my hard drives, my cables, my card readers, and my business cards. On the side of the bag, you'll also find a sleeve for a tripod, and that's what's there. I have a MeFoto tripod that I use for my sit-down interviews. Sometimes, occasionally, I will also put the Ronin S on top of that tripod for some different pans and tilts that I can't get handheld, or I can't get on the MeFoto tripod since it doesn't have a proper video head. It's made for photo. So with what's in this bag, I can easily get some of the footage that you're seeing on screen right now, from some drone shots out in LA or out in Colorado to some silky smooth footage on the ground with my 1DX Mark II. I'm sure some of you out there, or some of you watching this video, already have your setup for 2019. Please let us know what kind of gear bags you're using and what kind of equipment you're traveling with. Leave that in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. I appreciate it.